Look at that. It's
Okay.
back. Well, I have to get the Instagram back, but at least we're back, right?
Yeah, it's a lot better than just a one-man show now, I would say.
Look, I apologize. I didn't know it was still rolling. That's the craziest part about it, is that I had no clue that this thing was still running. I mean, because I had no power.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get everybody back in here. So um, it'll catch up in a minute. Uh, it probably everybody's gonna be all confused, but
That's all right.
uh,
They'll come back.
there's a couple in here. I see a couple come in. So there we are. Let's see. It's still moving. From the last one, it's still running on Instagram. So we'll see what happens. There's a few people back in here. Scott, let me tell you what. I'm sitting over here and the whole house goes black. And I was like, what in the world? And I didn't know when my computer kicked off if it would throw anybody off. I come back and it kicks on for a second. And I hear him talking about, yeah, that's whatever scores were. And then it dropped. So we appreciate it. Sorry that we lost everybody. I hope everybody's back in the house. Let's get some little background noise moving. And Curtis, let's
Yeah.
start. Let's start this thing over.
All right. All right.
Oh Lord. So tell me.
I'll say
Uh,
it. No storms.
so this is the way things go around here. Every time you start talking about ASA, some weird things happen, Scott. I mean, no storms for real. That's the point. It's like I didn't know we had storms coming up, but then we turned around and there it was doing again. Trying to get everybody back in here. Curtis, what we were talking about is I remember. Now you talked for freaking 20 minutes past me, so I can't tell you what.
That's all right. Let's start it off with what you had last.
All right. So what I was saying is you flew out on Wednesday and you did a whole lot of bow tinkering.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, um, yeah, so I hadn't shot my 3D bow since I guess Minden,
Yep.
and I've been shooting my 50-meter bow all since. And with the changes, with how my shots changed, I decided to end up moving my peep sight and changing my rest, going from a drop away to a blade, and um, I changed everything. But
Changed.
fortunately, it worked out. So.
So did you shoot the team shoot?
Yes, I shot the team shoot. So I decided to change my peep height before the team shoot, shot the team shoot, hated my peep height, moved it again, and after that, and yeah. So
So that's Thursday, right? So
that's
Thursday
Thursday.
you did a whole lot more tinkering.
Yeah, and then Friday I
Friday y'all go
shot the
y'all
bags
y'all
and went out
yeah,
there.
yes I'll say y'all's time is what on Friday? 11?
Nine.
9. So you go
Yeah.
in, you come in, drive in, say, hey, I'm gonna leave the bow the way it is. I'm just gonna shoot it, got my sight taped like I want it. Pointers where it should be, and you start off. And what target did you start on? Number, you
So
remember?
I started on, I believe it was number 6.
So you had a good ways to go down and come back before.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. You didn't have to go way down the range to get to your target type thing.
No, no, and the sad part is we started on a short target, and I missed it.
So you missed the short one and thought, oh,
So,
this is not going to be good. And then you picked it up from there. You hit several in a row
yeah, yeah.
because I was
Uh,
watching the scores as it goes by. They first 5, there you are, and the first 10, there you are, first 15, there you are. Somebody's moved closer, but you're still there.
Yes, sir.
And
And I ended up having 1.8, I think, on target. Target, I think 13. I had an 8. So,
so you
but
said Scott says you shot with somebody from the RBO group that was just tickled to death. So on the team shoot,
what was her name? If you don't mind me asking, I'm trying to think. I can't remember her
he
name.
can't remember his name.
No, I can't. Um, was it something? Kinsley, Kinley. Um,
I don't
man, what was
remember.
her name?
Anyway,
I don't know.
but let's go back to so at the end of 20, you
Hmm.
were on the top by yourself,
Yes, sir.
and it was 20. I forgot.
I was 28 up.
28 up. Natalie.
Yeah, that's right,
All right.
Natalie. Okay.
28 up,
Hmm.
and you were on the first place by yourself.
And her last name's Hensley. That's why I
Yep.
was thinking Kinley. Okay. All right. Anyways.
So you just mixed it all together, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were 28 up. You were on the first by yourself, and a
Yeah.
couple of points back.
Yeah. And I knew I shot. So like throughout the day, like I knew I was shooting good, but I didn't think that I didn't think that 28 up would necessarily have me by myself.
Yeah,
Um, because there's some guys in there that can just flat out shoot. So
yeah. I mean, any given Friday for y'all, 60 yarders. Any given somebody gets on, it's on.
hmm.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. That's the best of the best is in any of the pro classes. I mean, that's just how it works. So you come off the range feeling good. Everybody goes out, shoots their first round on Friday. Everybody else that needs to shoot on Friday. The 50-yarder classes, the people who have their option to shoot their Sunday on Friday, whatever that is, they all shot their score on Friday. And what was your game plan for the next day? I hope you
Just
didn't
a
go touch your bow.
no, I didn't. I was happy with how it did.
Okay.
I the game plan was just to go out and do the same thing, and if not, try to do better. And we went out there and uh, I had a decent run. I was 12 up through 10, but I missed two that I should have had. And then
Oh, were they short?
they were shorter. Yeah,
I mean, somebody
yeah,
needs to practice short.
yeah. No, the long ones the first target we had was 58.5 yards, and I hit it. So
Well, look,
like,
look. I mean, you have been shooting 55 yards like
yeah.
for the last month and a half all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But then we had that a few lightning strikes, and everybody was hit the ground running, and before you know it, I think even before I even got out the woods, the bottom fell out, and then as we kept getting closer to that wood line, it just got worse and worse and worse, and then you're in the wide open getting drenched trying to make it to a vehicle. So
yeah. Well, I tell you, I mean, and they held off. I mean, Scott's part of that group, but ASA held off for a long time before they finally decided we got to call it.
yeah, yeah, they did,
And
they did.
and I shared all of the different stuff about where they changed for the amateur classes can shoot whatever and that kind of thing, so that everybody knew where it stood after the fact. So
Oh, the leopard, was that the one that was you had to shoot between the stump and the little tree next, or the big tree and the little tree next to it, and it was like the gap was the width of the ten ring? Is that the one you're talking about, Scott?
the gap's got to be big enough to see all the scoring rings. Don't tell nobody that. Don't say it was only the size of 10 ring.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Yep. That one sucked. You just had to. All you could do was try to get yourself as centered up with whatever ring you're shooting at, and pray you didn't try
Didn't
to.
bobble.
Yeah.
Didn't weeble when you're supposed to wobble.
Yeah, put some
That's
English on it.
for sure. Uh, See,
It was as big
big.
as a
I
ring.
told you it's big as 8 ring. I look. I knew that was coming. That's why I was defending it before it started. You got to see the whole 8 ring. So, but when your eyes are focused on the 10 or the 12, you don't really care what the 8 ring looks like. I mean, I understand that, and I don't know how far that leopard was through the gap, but it's your job as a pro to be able to do that.
Wink, wink.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Um,
it was a good target, Scott.
yeah.
It was a good one.
So yeah, but ASA did a good job of waiting. I really do, because I mean it was the way the weather looked. You know, it was come and go. I know rumors had it. I don't know because I wasn't there, but rumors had it there were some trees down, brush down that would have made it a whole lot worse to try to get back out there than it would be to just call it. And the threat of that thunder and lightning that stood around for so long, and the downpour that came. I saw
Well, and
pictures. It was like, good gracious, it dumped a whole lot real fast.
and from a shooter's perspective, you're sitting in the truck and you're waiting to figure out when you can go back out there, and
Yep.
whether you have time to try to eat some lunch or something. It from the shooter's perspective, it just kept coming in, and it never would, like, you keep refreshing your radar and keep looking at it, and it would say that it's going to be a light rain, it's not going to be bad, not going to be bad. It just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. Like, it went from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to
Oh
2.
yeah.
I mean, it
But
was
they took long enough to make sure that it was one or the other.
absolutely, yeah.
They did a great job. It's bad that this year's been a weather year, for sure, for ASA as far as weather goes, and having to deal with. It's like different things, different stuff, but they're still doing a great job, still doing what they're supposed to do. So then they decided to call it. So they went off first day scores for all of the pros. Just so happens you were by yourself on the list. We're not going to talk about the 40 up that you were if they had took the last the 10 more targets that you had shot, right?
Yeah,
You,
that's where I was at.
I think you would have been 40 up because they had posted all the pictures from the 30 targets, right? So everybody had
Hmm.
shot 30 targets. And then it just stopped because of the flood, the rain, the whatever. And a lot of us didn't know that at first, that it was raining or that they had called it, or it's like, well, what the heck happened? They're almost done. But they did a good job of keeping up with it. The app is awesome. I will say that having the ASA app on your phone so that you can get updates and stuff and not have to go to social media to try to find it. In the news section where it pops up, don't go to the range, call due to lightning and so forth and so on. I think that's a great thing. So, let's see, several trees down. Let's put this up so we can see it. Yep, bunch of trees were down, and it's just a bunch of things that were going to be unsafe. So, the good thing about that is they did the right thing and got them cleaned up and done. So then you go into this shoot down.
Yes.
After you have been pretty much hitting everything that you was wanting to hit, except the short ones.
Yeah.
Right? And you're last to come out as far as because you're the first shooter. They call everybody in. That picture with you holding the bow up, like, yeah, that's an awesome picture. I like that picture. I liked it a lot.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then you stumbled out of the gate.
Yeah, well, I hit the first two,
Yep.
and then after that, I was underneath.
Tripped over your foot there somewhere along the way.
Yeah, face planting.
And you were just letting them catch up. And
Yep.
that's that game is the way it plays, right? Like you said, any of those guys can push it and do it, right? And so you have to go with the best you can and shoot it the best you can, and things happen. So we get all the way down to I guess the sixth and final arrow, and Jimmy shoots. Well, I guess it's Kyle, right? And he misses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He didn't look too happy, which I can understand, right? And then Jimmy hits the 14. So you had already had it on bonus rings, but now you have to shoot the 14 to win so that your score is the same, and then you have more bonus rings.
Yeah, and I kind of already knew that. I already knew Jimmy wasn't going to miss it, and um, like
Yeah,
you just don't
you
expect people.
you you
You
what?
don't expect people to
Yeah,
miss.
you wasn't planning. I mean, first you wasn't planning on Kyle missing, just to make it interesting, right?
No, but I wasn't even.
I mean, he was
You know,
it wasn't going to put him into the first place spot
yeah,
per se, but you knew Jimmy was going to hit it. You knew what you had to. You was already playing your game plan. I'm going to have to shoot the 14 no matter what. So
yeah, and when I shot, I seen it hit the target, and hit where I was looking, but I looked at Robert and I didn't even really know what was going on. Like it took a minute,
yeah,
and then Robert started yelling, so I started yelling, and and
yeah,
then and then
it
it
hit
all
you.
hit at once,
Yep.
and I couldn't quit hugging people. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well tell everybody. It was a
So
fantastic shoot off, just like Jonathan said. And you go and tell everybody you added a couple of yards on it just to make sure you wouldn't be under
I did put a few clicks in it.
it.
Yeah,
See, after
I wouldn't
after
say I wouldn't say that much. So a
I
few
not
yards.
say yards, but you did you did give it some of them safety clicks because you felt like you might have been. And truthfully, I mean, truth be told, that 14 is not a little bitty 14, right? So
No,
some
it's
14s are the same size as exact 12s, and some are just a hair bigger. And
hmm
so essentially and I'm not putting it to people in general, the pros, right? You're supposed to be able to hit that target no matter where it's at, right? And on top of that, it's um it was a little bigger. So truthfully, aiming wise, it's a flat spot. You could see it. Sun was on it, and there was a whole bunch of holes around it. And you got good eyes. You ain't like me. I couldn't see the target, much less the circles on it. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
congratulations on the win. I know
Thank you.
your ASA has been ups and downs this year. Just overall, just some ups and downs. Because
Yeah.
you was on top of the mountain, and then something happened, and it's like, oh crap. So I mean, hats off to you. The other side that people may not know, which they do know because they watch social media, is that ASA ain't the only game you playing.
Not at the moment. It's not. No, sir. The whole 50-meter thing. It's a lot of fun right now. So
He wants to know when he set a look. He wants to know when he set a close one because he's got to fix that.
well, hey, look, 30. I think the closest one we had the whole time was 32 yards, and when you miss it, it kind of hurts your feelings, Scott. Granted, it was an all black target. It was dark, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, oh me. But like I said, this is not the only game you're playing. So you had just spent several days on the West Coast the week
Yes,
before.
sir. Yeah, so I was out in San Diego for the SoCal Showdown,
Yep.
which is the tournament that they actually held there, but then also, which is USAT number 3, and then
3.
also, yeah, then they also had the World Championships team trials, and that is to go to Korea here in September.
Yes.
Um, and that same team, which they don't typically do this, but since they're doing a World Championship this year, that same team is going to go to Spain this weekend on Saturday. And I didn't shoot very well in the tournament itself out there, but I had a pretty dang good team trials.
Yeah,
So
so you know, first off SoCal, you started off the first round. Had some ups and downs, right? But you stayed in the mix. You wasn't like so far out. It's like, oh my god, I can't do nothing, right? So you at least you held up in there. And then points wise, for that's the second leg of the trials to make the championship team. Because you're already on the U.S. World, isn't that what they call it? There's two different things,
the
right?
World
World.
Cup team, yeah.
You're on the World Cup team. You made that, and
Yes, sir.
you've been traveling that art also, but
Yes, sir.
this is a different type. Um, this is a championship. They do it every couple of years or something like. It's not an every
Hmm.
year thing, so it's like every 2 years. It's a World Championships one time big deal thing, and so they have a qualifications, and the first was Gator Cup, which you did that.
No, 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 no.
No.
They canceled the ones in at Gator Cup. They were originally gonna do it at Gator Cup,
Yep.
and they
And then
canceled it
they
there.
canceled the Gator Cup, moved it.
So we we did it that let's see, we did it that Thursday.
Yep.
No, we did it that Wednesday, that Thursday,
Yep.
and then
Shot the
no,
second
no,
round.
no, we did it Thursday, Saturday, and then um Saturday also counted towards
Yes, that's
the
what I was going to say.
SoCal
Is
shoot.
the SoCal shoot was also
Yep.
part of. You used you at that score, and
Hmm.
then I can't remember. I did the math, and you were in the top four.
Yeah,
I don't.
so the first day, the team trials itself, I qualified second, and
Yep,
then after the second qualification round, I ended up moving to fourth for the team trials.
that's right. Fourth for
Um,
team.
I yeah, I didn't have that good of a day, and then we did our OR matches, or
Oh,
we did round robin matches
yeah,
on Monday, and
Monday.
we had
So
to shoot.
that's. I wanted to get into that just before you start.
Okay,
Four, 7 people, right?
yes, sir.
Top
Well,
seven, top
eight
eight.
people.
So you shoot 7 matches because you're one of them. Top eight,
Hmm.
and you shoot against everybody twice as an OR round,
Yes, sir.
as an elimination round. So essentially, that's 14 rounds.
It's 210 arrows for score without practice ends and
Oh yeah,
without one air shoot offs.
just moving to just moving to the next target and keep going.
Yep.
Next target, keep going.
Yep. So we had 7 matches, and then we had a 1 hour break, and then we shot 7 more.
Yep.
That's how we did that. So
And you had what, 2 warm ups on the beginning of the between the two. I think it
yeah,
was yeah,
I
two or
think
three,
two
whatever it
I
is.
think
Yeah.
2 practice ends
Yeah.
before each set.
So if you add all of that together, that's 12 more arrows 2 times. That's 24 arrows. And then how many 1 hour shoot offs did you have to shoot?
Uh, I think just two. Yeah, just two, and they were both against Jimmy.
Yes, they were both against Jimmy. Yeah. Anyway, so you had 2 more arrows that you had to shoot. So 210, 25. That's almost 230, Curtis. And
Yep.
in a day's worth of shooting. And all of it was for score except 12 or 15 rounds, 15 arrows. That's ridiculous.
That was a
So
lot.
that's a lot. So I reason I bring that up is because anybody who's listening, watching, that doesn't understand the level of shooting that y'all have to do, right, on any given day. Not just 3D is not a lot of arrows. It's a lot more. What do you call it? You have to have a strategy and a game plan and that type of thing. But pounding out at 55 yards, which is 50 meters, a zillion arrows at a time, and then moving your target and doing it again, moving your target and doing it again. Man, that's just pure. Some of that's got to be just straight adrenaline and letting your brain just do it.
Well, it gets to a certain point. The whole thing, the whole mentality that at least the whole mentality that I've got is, everybody's out there shooting so good now. Like you can't miss, and I don't honestly, you don't even really think about the duration and how difficult it is to be accurate that whole time or any day. It's
No,
just,
you just
it's
do.
kind of like it's kind of a standard,
Yeah,
and you got to get out there and do it.
just got to do it. That's the.
You just got to do it.
So anyway, you had a great weekend and a whole lot of arrows. So you had plenty of shooting practice. Your arms were in really good shape to go to, uh, you know. Um, so then
It-
let's, so essentially that was SoCal. Well, let's back up. Cannot hear Curtis. Curtis is talking. Who can't hear Curtis?
I don't
Talk,
know. I,
talk to me, Curtis.
can, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm actually getting only a right side or left side from you, but I don't know why it's only
What about
one
now?
microphone.
Is that better?
I don't know. I got the record button going, so I'm hoping that
Okay.
when I get the audio going.
Let
So
me here. I'll cut it off and cut it back in. All right. Try it now. There we go.
well, that's a little better. I think I
Yeah.
got you in one way or the other. I'll cut
Yeah.
the audio from the background and see if that'll help. Anyway, so you're in SoCal. You do your thing. So how much time did you have to prepare for SoCal?
So I gotta think now. When was so I went to Turkey. I come back from Turkey. So I was in Antalya, Turkey for World Cup Stage 3.
Yep.
I come back from there, and I know that was sometime June 9th. And then SoCal was the week, maybe a week and a half or
That's what I
so.
was going to say. Is you went to
Yeah,
Turkey to represent, and that was which World Cup? One, two, two, three,
three.
two, three in Turkey, and you did very well until it became time that didn't you have to face Jimmy in the OR rounds?
Yeah, I had to go against Jimmy in the matches, and
Yep,
he beat me out there.
he
So
beat you out of the match. Yes, and
yeah,
so this is a theme, right? We're
yeah,
seeing a theme here. Um, so
yeah.
uh, and but anyway, so essentially, um, only hear you, John. Oh, she says they can hear you, so hear all everybody else. Bobby, what's up, Bobby? Do you still work a day job? Yeah, when he's at home, when he can. That's what I was going to get at. So you came back from Turkey,
hmm
um, and let's finish that. So you you had a decent qualification round in Turkey.
Yeah,
Um,
qualified second.
well, depending on 11s.
Yeah, sure,
we're
sure,
gonna we're
sure.
gonna leave that alone. But yeah, so uh, we you qualified like really well, and you shot well through your matches. And matches are weird. I hate to say it, but matches doesn't always show the best shooter. It's the best shooter for those 15 arrows.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And absolutely. I honestly feel like they should almost be double elimination sometimes.
Something, yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
because and you always if you get beat, you always go, hey, go win it all, right? And if they do,
Yeah.
then you're like, okay, it was his time, or it was their time. But if they get out in the next round, it's like, God darn it.
Oh, and then and sometimes you're out there shooting and somebody's been shooting nothing but like 142s, 143s, and they turn around and shoot a 149 against you and end up beating
That's
you.
right. That's
And
right.
it's like, well, where did that come from? Then they turn
Yep.
around and shoot a 142 again the next match and lose.
Yep.
It's like, what the heck?
And on the other side, Bobby, it's good to see you though, buddy. I haven't talked to you in a while. We're doing great, buddy. Um, also, you have been I know that this has happened because I've seen it. You could lose a match and still be the second highest score on the field.
Hmm.
You know, got
Yep.
beat by 150, you're 149, you look down there, y'all the two highest scores on the field, but you lost,
Yep.
and you could have beat anybody else you were shooting against. But
Yep.
it's just
And
it
somebody can squeak all the way through with the lowest scores, with the second
that's right.
lowest scores of the day.
100%. But
Yep.
I digress on that. I'm not I just it's not my favorite part of the game, but it is part of the game and it is a game, right? That's why we play it. But anyway, you had qualified well enough, and so did oh, I just lost it. You shot team rounds with Ruiz.
Alexis. Yep.
Yes. So you shot with Alexis, and y'all had to shoot through. Y'all were already qualified top team, I think, or second maybe. So don't miss. Danny says don't miss. Daniel says don't miss. Danielle says don't miss. But yeah, so I guess y'all qualified first. You went all the way through, and you come home with a gold medal
Yep.
in the team rounds,
Yep.
which shows team rounds are now in the Olympics. And
Well, and I'm gonna so going back on those team rounds.
yep,
Um, so with the 11s in play, we were able to our scores were way higher than everyone we competed against, right?
yep,
Even the gold medal match, we were 9 points. I think we won by 9 points,
yep.
which is a lot. Um, but the match before the gold medal match, normally you couldn't do this, but fortunately with the 11s in play, I think that's why I could still do this. But I did something really embarrassing, John. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Well, I had I got lazy on one and
Yep,
I creeped. And when I creeped,
creep,
I hit the button. And when
bang,
I hit the button, I sent it up into a six.
a six
And then we had to go into a one arrow shoot off. And then
just to finish
fortunate,
that match.
yeah, ended up making it through. But it was oh god, I almost threw it.
You see. Hold on. You know who this is?
No, Brody.
Oh, Georgia Boy Hunting Club in the house. What up, Brody? I got you. I got you, Unk, in here. We talking all kinds of archery. So, but yeah. So you, if you hadn't had 11s for that whole time, it would have not been as a pretty as a win as it could have been. A
Yeah,
six usually would throw you way out of the mix for sure.
yeah, we might would have lost that one. I don't
Yeah,
know though.
yeah. So, but that was Turkey. That's a gold medal. That's your first adult world medal, correct? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Congratulations on that. I mean,
Thank you.
you have been on fire as far as this has been a great year for you. Not saying that you've won everything you've shot at, but you've been in the mix almost every time, right? Even like, I mean, we were down in uh and you were leading, had an issue on the second day. You've
I was
been in the
bending.
mix, bending.
Yeah.
Yep. So you've been in the mix a lot, which is awesome. And I am truly happy that you have, turned it on. And I mean, honestly, you don't have time you don't have time to slow down.
No, and like I really appreciate you saying you were happy for me and everything, but yeah, no, I haven't had time to slow down, man. It's if it's one after another, and like even with this past weekend, I would love to ride that high, for as
Oh
long
yeah.
as I can, but I've already got to switch gears. I can't even really
gotta
worry
go
about
back
it
to
too
that
much anymore.
gotta go back to that other bow.
Yeah, well, at that, and you got to go back to the mentality, of trying to go out there and really competing, so.
Be on a box of Wheaties.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah, but you
doubt
got
that.
you have to keep competing. No rest for the
Yeah.
weary. Let me tell you. So we talked about your back schedule since you did this. You traveled, get on an airplane, going across the world, coming back, going across the country, coming back, going to here, going to there. What's the rest of your docket looks like? So essentially, right? Let's talk about this. So you have this is Fourth of July weekend. Luckily,
Yep.
there's not a lot going on. Um, you know, uh, so there's not many tournaments. There's not a national tournament. There's not something that you're shooting this weekend. But then you fly out like when?
No, I fly out Saturday.
Saturday
Yep.
to go
I fly out
to.
Saturday to go to Madrid, Spain,
Yep.
and then I get back from there, and I've got about a week and a half, and then I've got to go to Buckeye,
Yep.
which is Ohio, for USAT number
Or
4.
four. Yep.
Then I immediately get back, and that next week go to Coleman, Alabama for the Classic.
That's right.
Then I'll get back on Sunday. Then that Monday I fly out and I go to Chengdu, China for the World Games.
World Games. That's right.
Yeah. And then I get back from that, and 2 days after I get back, I go to Missouri for
Mm-hmm.
Outdoor Nationals,
Outdoor
which is
Nationals.
USAT Stage 5.
Yep.
And then I'm back for 2 weeks, and then I go to uh, South Korea
And
on
that's
September
the
1
and that's
for the World
the World
Championships.
Championships, right?
Yep.
So, um, your frequent flyer miles is kicking up.
Oh, I hope I get that diamond medallion soon.
But I tell you, so everybody knows, Curtis is now not just well, everybody knew Curtis wasn't just a 3D guy. We've seen him. I saw you standing on the. I remember. What's up, Robbie?
What's up, Robbie?
We should have Robbie in here. We'd have a ball. He would pick on you a good bit. No, I'm just kidding. But no. So you know, you, I remember seeing you in Vegas, youth championships. I mean, I watched you shoot your first tournament ever with a hunting bow.
You did. You did.
So you've been yeah, one Vegas crying out loud. Yes, sir. I've seen you've gone. So he did Vegas. In the youth championship divisions, you did. How many world medals did you end up in the youth division?
Uh, 5, I
Five.
believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I know you went to two outdoors, two indoors, right? Last
Two
indoor ever.
outdoors and one indoor.
Last indoor ever.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And I choked in a gold medal there.
You always remember the bad, man. You got to remember the
Well,
good.
dude, it's hard not to,
You got to
you know.
remember the good, man. You got to remember the good. Uh, how many? What now? How many spots in the? Oh, you're talking about the spots across the top. Well, we rearranged the range, so he had 14 targets hanging in the range. I do know that. I counted them. So, but anyway, you've done everything, did everything, and honestly, you've done it with the same bow brand from the get go.
Yep.
So that company has changed. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, but there has been owner changes, and they have still you know had you there as part of the team. And I mean, I remember old Skinny Dave coming in, hanging out at the shop, way back when. And so go ahead and tell everybody your list of sponsors.
My list of
'Cause
sponsors.
yeah,
So you've got Elite Archery, which started off with Elite. And let's go back to the World Champion, or no, the World Games for a minute.
uh-huh.
Um, Here soon. I don't know exactly when I'm going to have it finalized and everything, and open and available to do, but I'm going to be doing a raffle. And Elite Archery is sponsoring it, and they're willing to give whoever wins the raffle whatever elite bow of their choosing, whatever
Mm-hmm.
color, whatever poundage that they want, and it will be shipped directly to your house. So we're gonna start it here soon, and then I'm thinking about running it until the classic and announcing the winner actually at the classic. But I'm gonna have a video posted explaining about it, and here shortly, I'll have the link up available
Well, how
for
to
you to
how to
click
buy?
on and go. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, and it's gonna. I'm gonna do $10 for one entry, or you can do um, $50 for six entries. And what this is for is it is to help fund me to go to China for the World Games.
Because China is an unfunded event.
That it is. So that it is, and it is not cheap.
So
So, but anyways,
go,
back to all the sponsors. So you've got Elite Archery,
yep.
you've got Bowfinger Archery,
Mm-hmm.
you got Black Eagle arrows, you've
Okay.
got clear target lenses,
Old Doc,
Lanca Lancaster Archery Supply,
Rob,
gas bowstrings.
Eric.
Yep, yep. True ball releases,
Mm-hmm.
um, biter nocks,
Yep.
tack vanes.
Tack veins.
Yep. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. I'm definitely missing something.
What rest are you running?
Hamsky wrists.
Yep.
Uh,
Locked up without a cable.
yep. Locked up without a cable, running as a blade.
I think that's about it. But you need to. There's a big sponsor.
Ah,
There's a big sponsor that you haven't cranked up that trailer in that truck in a while, but it's on your shirt.
oh yeah. My KL Next Enterprises.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's the unfortunate thing about. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing about doing work by yourself.
for
For
sure.
yourself. 'Cause you can't. If you're gone, you ain't nothing getting done. That's what sucks.
So this is what Robbie said. Them long nights at the range. You remember them nights?
Yeah, I do.
And Daniel
I
asked a
do.
question, so I'm gonna let you answer that question. You can read that
Okay.
question right there.
No, I never trained under Griff.
That's why I
I
wanted you.
know
Just
I
let you
never
answer that
did
question.
that.
So
So
nothing wrong with George and what he does. But I just wanted you to answer to clear that question up. So
yeah, yeah.
uh,
No, I don't have the flow,
yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Um. Anyway,
So
we're gonna leave that alone. But yeah. So, dude, that has been awesome. You've had a. I mean, if the today stopped the year, you've had a good year,
thank you.
and it's half over.
Yeah, and hopefully we can make it a lot better.
But
Um,
that's the thing is we're half over, and you still have a good what'd you count 5, 6 more tournaments to go, some more tournaments to go.
yeah, somewhere one, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, six more.
Said you can drive a
So
skid steer. That's true, man. I watched him do it too. It's he definitely knows what he's doing. Um, but
yeah, and I can almost get stuck too, can't I, Scott?
Scott, he almost gets stuff. Um, but let's go to another section. Once all of that's done, all right, and you're going to take a break. I hope. I truly hope um, that you take a minute and break. And that's it. Shannon. I'm headed straight to that. Then there's hunting season, right?
Yep, and there's hunting season,
So
and I
I
have
know
not even thought about that yet.
I know that you've been to the land of smiles once or twice this year.
Yep.
Have you put a hunting bow together yet?
No, sir. I have not. I have mine, but I have not put it together yet. So
Like you had
I
time,
have,
right?
dude, man, I can't even think about hunting
That's
right now.
right.
I don't want to. I,
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, you got to keep your
So,
keep it going where you're going. But let's go. I'm moving to that reason for a reason. Hunting season is coming. We're less than 72 days away, right? For the
hmm
state opener of Georgia. We know you hunt up there in the land of smiles. That's Ohio. If anybody doesn't know, but for Georgia hunters, the it's right around the corner. It'll be here before we know it. So if you've not thought about it like Curtis and you've been busy, get your bow, take it to the local pro shop, and make sure you get the once over. Buy your arrows, get your stuff going, because the shops are just going to get busier. If you knew when you put your bow up you needed a set of strings last year and you stuck it under the bed, it's time to pull it out and put the strings on the bow, because if you don't, you may not get strings on your bow before opening weekend because it's getting behind fast. So
that and also with that, it is a lot easier to start practicing now and hit that red solo cup by the time it gets September than it
yes,
is to
so
start
it's
in
100%.
mid-August.
Yeah.
So,
Whole lot easier to get to practicing in, and because you're shooting two different bows, right?
hmm
Going from one to the other, it takes a minute. It don't make a darn if it's the exact same bow with the exact same sight and the exact same whatever. You change arrows and shoot it there. It's not the same. I don't care
no,
if they were they nothing shoots the exact same. So
no, and that's the sad part. You can literally make them exactly identical, and
yep,
they won't
and
they won't shoot the same.
they do not work the same. So yes, I've been shooting my tournament bow all year. Well, it's not the same as your hunting bow. Ask Curtis going from 60 to 70 in a weekend. It happens. So, um, yeah. So if you got your hunting bow out there and you hadn't got it to your local pro shop, get it to your local shop. There is a lot of great shops in this great state, and get them out there and get them checked out. Make sure you're ready to go. So that's why I wanted to lead into that, because it's just that time of year when we need to talk about it. What's happening this weekend? Well, it's 4th of July. I hope everybody's celebrating and getting out and having a good time. The North Georgia Traditional Archers has their normal shoot on Saturday. It's the first Saturday of every month during the summer season or shooting season. And so they'll be up in Gainesville shooting their bows. Nobody else has one. Most people don't do 4th of July weekend. Is your phone going to die, Curtis? I meant to ask you that.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay. Um, Also, I'm gonna flip over here. This and these interviews and this weekly podcast comes out, except last week. Don't ask me. I'll have to call management. I don't know why didn't happen. Anyway, you can find all of that on all of the social medias. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and X and Twitter and YouTube, and audio versions are on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Music and Amazon and anywhere you can think. You can also, if you have any information you want us to talk about, please send us an email, info@georgiaarchery.com. Speaking of georgiaarchery.com, that's where we put our calendar. You can see everything that we talk about weekly on this, and you can also see the things that are coming up, because we don't always talk about things that are 3 or 4 weeks out. But there's a lot of stuff coming up that's going to do. The Georgia Cup's coming up. The GBAA State 3D Championships coming up. The ASA State Championships coming up. There's one qualifier left on the 13th in Kennesaw. So last chance to get your points in, drop a score, get a score, pick up some bonus points, whatever you got to do, get some practice in for the states down there in Augusta at Wildwood Park with Team On Point. So I know the ASA guys are getting ready, because that July is a month that we don't have an ASA tournament, because all of the states have their state tournament going on. So that's sort of it in a nutshell, Curtis.
All
If you
right.
could give a tip Like a to a new archer, what would it be?
A tip to a new archer.
Yep.
The biggest thing is, I would say the biggest thing would be try not to get overly frustrated with it when you see everybody else doing as well as they are. Just keep let that push you, to get better and to keep practicing and you're gonna have a mountain range of success or failures. Just keep driving through it.
Yes, most definitely. So that's a good. Oh, tweeter. Yeah, tweeter. Um, we open Saturday. Yes, the shop will be open Saturday. We are closed on the 4th of July, but the shop will be open Saturday. So, um, anything else you got to add, Curtis? Wish you the best of luck in all your travels.
Well,
Um,
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't.
um,
There's nothing necessarily I gotta add. Does anybody have any questions? I
yeah.
guess.
Anybody else got anything they want to add? I know that's a little bit behind, so it takes a little longer for it to get in here. Um, but yes, I will agree with you to not let.
If
Look at
the
this.
big shots are a lot of little shots.
Yep, that's a fact. All right, here we go. We're gonna answer some questions.
How did I go from shooting a hunting setup to an open rig? Um, well, that was just oh man, that was so long ago. Man, that was so long
You
ago.
was
I was
you was.
15.
I was gonna say you were 14, 15 when you brought your
Yeah.
hunting bow to the tournament. So,
Yeah, I
um,
was I was 15. I guess I was young enough to not know no different, you know. I guess, Um
for sure.
it just keep shoot it. I just kept shooting it and over time I got accustomed to it, got used to it, just like I guess anything,
An
you
open
know.
setup, yeah, a little bit longer bars, mover sight,
Yep.
that type one pin.
Yep.
I'm not gonna
And
lie. When I went to a one pin, even before, and I'll have to commend the whatever what they call the new class, the Hunter Unlimited or whatever the Hunter class is. I like that class in ASA because I've been on a mover sight, even in my hunting bow for good gracious, I couldn't tell you how long now. And I like that they have an option for that because more people are using a mover sight. Bows are fast enough today that you can set it, especially here in Georgia. We shooting in thick brush most of it. Instead, when we get to South Georgia, we shoot some long stuff. But most time, your longest shots, 20, 30 yards, you can set your sight at one spot and shoot it all. The 145. Yes,
mhm.
Jonathan, that's it. I think that's one of the best things that ever happened in the ASA is to have that mover sight. And I don't shoot a magnification, and I shoot short. My stabilizers. I could go back to a 12. 12 inches total stabilizer, and it wouldn't be a big deal. So, Curtis, what rangefinder do you use?
So the rangefinder that I use is the Vortex Razor HD 4000.
The 4,000.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and the reason why, I didn't mean to cut you off there, John,
Go
but
ahead.
the reason why is you only get like a tenth of a yard difference between black and white, and plus my backup rangefinder and my main rangefinder range the exact same, and that's the biggest thing in the world is if
Yes.
something happens to one, you can pick up another
Pick
one and
up
keep
another and
going.
keep going.
Like that's the key with it.
So, Robbie asked, "Do we miss him?" And yes, Robbie, we miss you. I tell you that all the time. Miss you so much. You're welcome here anytime to come in and just jaw jack and have a good time with us for sure. And then you always you always got a place.
So my
Um,
3D scope setup
there you go.
is a Bowfinger 35 millimeter, and I use a 6 power lens with a 15 thou blue fiber, and I've got a 1.5 power clarifier. It's a podium peep is my peep.
Yep. So you're using a 1.5 and a
Six
six
power lens,
and a
yeah, clear
35.
target lens.
Yeah. Well, we know Dot's got you hooked up with a clear target lens. So I'm going to say something because I see you do something that a lot of folks don't, right?
Okay.
See, look at that. Scott says everybody misses Robbie Robbie. So there you go. Everybody misses Robbie. So you're light.
Yes, I already know what you're going to ask, but yes.
I know. I mean, we've talked about it because I asked you. I had to ask
Uh,
you. You pick up your bow and you point it to the target and you adjust the variable brightness for every target you shoot at.
Correct. Correct. Even out in the wide open in the same exact lighting, I still do it on every
Yeah,
target.
every target
Yep.
because you want to have the same pin look no matter if it's a black target, light target, sun on it, no sun on it, in the shade. You get the same. You may turn it up so that it looks the same to you. Is that why
So
you do that?
yes, so I do it in the simple. So I don't care what target it is. All of them being a different color, the pin's going to appear completely different. Even if it's they're both brown, they're different shades of brown, so they're
Yep.
not going to be exactly the same. So if your pin is a little smaller or a little bigger, you're definitely going to end up with highs and lows because of that.
Yep.
Like a hundred like I truly truly believe in that you're going to end up with highs and lows. So I on every single target I approach, I click it until I get my pin the perfect brightness that I feel that I can see. That way I don't have to waste a letdown just for cutting my light on and drawing back and not looking at it.
Yeah.
So
So Robbie asked what color fiber.
blue. Blue, it's a blue 15 thou fiber, and I do not flare it. I just keep it straight.
All right. And then Jonathan says, how do you balance the target clarity and the pin clarity?
So I like my target picture to be really clear, because I need to see every bit of detail that I can on that target. And I can stand so I can't get my pin crystal clear with a clear target picture. So I've got my pin to where it's just a hair fuzzy. And with having a little fuzzy pin, you can still look through it and shoot with it rather than having a blurry target. Because if you have a blurry target, you're not going to see those few arrow holes that you have to aim off of, or that knock or whatever it may be that's down there. So
I'm just going to tell you that I'm 60 yards is just too far for me to see a ring on a target. You talking about arrow holes? I'm talking about. Look, where's the target? Oh my god!
well, and I'm gonna say this, that was the biggest thing for us going from 50 to 60 was visibility, being able to see on the target.
For sure,
I mean, that made a world of a difference.
I bet it did.
Just wait till you're older. Yeah, I'm not ready for that, Robbie.
For sure, it's coming. You can't look that you got. Look, you can either accept it or there's one alternative, and it ain't worth a darn either. Okay.
Hey, look, I know it's coming because I'm getting a little thin up here.
All right. Let's see what Stacy says here.
Do you get the nerves at the shoot down and at the World Cup? If so, what do you feel? So yeah, I get nervous. So during the regular shoot, like at an ASA, I don't typically get nervous, but during a shoot off, I'm pretty nervous. And at the World Cups, I'm pretty nervous. And um, all you can do is just embrace them and know that they're not there to. Don't freak out when you get them. Know that you can only get them when you're up there. You're on that stage. You're on that platform to and just embrace them and enjoy them. And that's about all you can do with them. Um,
I'm so glad that you said it that way because I've heard a lot of people. Oh, calm down. It's done. Whatever. No, embrace it. Take it in. It's part of it. If you didn't get nervous, that means you didn't care. You know what I'm saying? In the long run of things, you wouldn't. If you didn't get nervous, I mean, everybody does. I
hmm
think what you said is great. I think that's awesome. To embrace it, to use it to an advantage. Tell it. That's money right there, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and like that's about all you can do. Because I don't care who you are, you're gonna get nervous,
for sure.
and my I don't know about you guys, but my main problem is it always goes to my hands. Like if like when I'm shooting paper, paper's the worst because you have to write your score on the scorecards.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to not embarrass myself by grabbing a scorecard and grabbing that pen and trying to write. My hands are over here doing like twiddling the whole time. It's
must care a lot. Yes, sir. That means you do care a lot. That's a fact. That's hey. There's no doubt. It's the
that's
adrenaline
right.
rush, just like anything else. People who jump off buildings, they it's that same. We're looking for that. We didn't do it for just to sit around and not. I can sit in my backyard and shoot arrows. Go into a tournament's a reason.
Well, and going with that, how do you saying how do you handle them? Well, you've got to talk to yourself the whole time because what is the sport? The sport's 90% mental, right? So I'm like I'm sure I'm like anybody else that's up there, everybody's got thoughts through their head and it's just orchestrating those thoughts to
You
try to
got to be
talk to yourself and
you,
tell
you got to be
yourself,
you got to be louder than the bad thoughts or the thoughts.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And talk yourself through it, and if you need to take some deep breaths to help slow your heart rate down.
There you go.
Um, But no, how do you stop to get shaky? Oh, you're shaky the whole time, Shannon. It don't. It's that pin's up there dancing.
Shake it to the middle and keep going.
Yeah.
And then you come to the reality that everybody that's standing on there is in that same predicament.
Yep.
They're all feeling the same thing you are. You know, that's the reality of it. Is they all got the same feelings that you do.
He sets targets for the rush. Yeah, you give people the rush.
He likes to watch the rush on the other people now. He shot him for years. Worked his way to pro twice, or worked his way all the way up two times. I mean, you can't take nothing away from him, and now he's just you know uh, molding the next generation at 60 yards to even do it better. So that's awesome. But yeah, dude, this has been a great thing. I can't believe that it started with a freaking power outage, and then I was gone, and you kept talking, and I didn't know it was running, and then when it come back, it throwed it off. I don't know. It's just what it is. Um, I'm gonna have to piece this thing together to make sure we get the front half and the back half together. Uh,
Hey, I want to say one thing real fast. Hey,
yeah.
Scott, you know how y'all did that video where you were talking about who sets the hardest targets? No, they were Josh and all them were all wrong. It's you're the number one vote, man. I don't know what they were talking about. I don't know why they kept saying Pat, not you.
Well, Pat sets the targets where Scott tells him to put them.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
Scott may be the one that look is Scott's the end all say all on that. But yeah, he does the thing. Let's see, Raising Arrows podcast loading. Robbie Surface. So yeah, dude, this has been awesome. A lot of stuff. Let's go back to as soon as Curtis launches his raffle for the bow from Elite. We'll make sure that George Archery shares it, pushes it out everywhere, because everybody needs to go and give this man a few dollars. You see how much he's traveling and spending and going to try to get him over there to the World Championship. So,
Thank you for that, John. I
you know,
appreciate it.
and we'll definitely get that going. What does he say?
Can we still send it? Just send a donation. You can if you want. But I was trying to do it with the raffle. That way, it's at least giving something back, because I'm not trying to just take stuff, for free. You know what I mean? So.
Hardest one to judge. I remember when we hosted the state championship a few years ago, and Scott came and he come off the range. He said, "You got me." He said, "You got me." You got me. I said, what do you mean I got you? Because, he's still judging yardage. He said, that target did not look where it's supposed to look, you know? And that's the thing about judging yardage is it don't have to be 60 yards. You just got to manipulate it enough that it looks long or short. Curtis, they giving you the fanfare,
Yeah.
brother.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I think that we'll figure out a an ad to the yeah, that's what how I was
Yeah.
thinking too, Robbie, is that if I won the bow, I was going to give it away too, so it didn't matter, just to
Yeah.
support Curtis and do his thing. So
Well, and like I said, it's any elite bow that you want. Whoever may win. If they want, just say they want a verdict or they want an ember. It doesn't matter. Whatever the color they're choosing, that elite offers that bow in, or
yep,
camo, and whatever poundage. So
yeah, that's cool. Well, dude, we've had a pretty good talk here. I don't know if there's anything else. I'm just watching the messages slow down next time. Look, we'll probably get you after it's all said and done, right? Come back and just sort of a overview of your whole
okay,
season,
sure, yeah,
and a game plan because you've been on it a few times now and we've really enjoyed it. This has been a better interview to talk about parts and pieces of your bow, your mental side, the mental game, the whole 9 yards, and it's been awesome for everybody to listen to. And they make they do make well, I take that back, they do not make they make a bow that a T-Rex arm can shoot, and they make it in a pretty color. How about that? Right? I
yeah.
mean, they have some smaller bows that fit in pretty colors. So,
So Scott, the China trip is so I leave August 4th.
yep,
So I leave the Monday we get back from the classic,
yes.
or after we get back. So
As soon as
get
you
back
get
on
back
that
from the
Sunday.
classic, yep, you come back on Sunday, you get your stuff packed, moved around, and jump back on an airplane plane for what is that? You going to China, right? 20.
Yeah. So I fly to Seoul, Korea,
Yep,
and it's six, I think it's 16 and a half hour
and a
flight.
half to Seoul. Yep.
Um, and then I think I've got another 3.5 or 4.5 hour flight from Seoul to Shindu. And then
That's what I
on
was
the
going to
way,
say. I think it was like 16, 22 hours total flight time, right? Or something like that.
yeah, well, on the way back's gonna suck because I have
Straight
um
through.
well, I'm gonna have a 11-hour layover on the way back. So, and that's in Seoul. So I fly to Seoul, then I wait 11 hours, then I fly back for another 15 or 16. It's gonna suck. I'm not
Yeah.
looking forward to that one. So thank you, Shannon. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we all definitely cheering for you, um, as loud as we can. So,
I tell you, I really wish that I could go to it sucks going to all the national shoots and stuff and being so busy traveling, but I really wish I could go to like Georgia Cup or some 3D local 3D shoots again,
yeah,
but unfortunately that's not the case. Do they no, they don't provide a translator. You got Google Translate for that.
oh, oh my goodness, yeah. So my message went through. Anyway, um, dude, this has been awesome. I appreciate you very much. We had a great time, even though it started all a little rocky. This stuff will be, if you can find this video again, I will edit it, try to put it all together, and make Curtis may talk about the same thing twice, because if I find the video, he's talking to Scott and we piece it all together. And do yeah, great place at RBO. There's no doubt, Scott. Everybody knows that
That's
Scott
right.
Garrett sets a hell of a range, and his boys down there do a great job at RBO. One of my favorite places. I think I've actually shot there 2 times this year. There was a year I didn't even shoot once. So I love you, Scott. Love what you do, and try to keep the sport growing. Don says safe travels, Curtis.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
But yeah, if that's the end of that, I think, dude, it's been we got an hour and nine on this side. We probably had 30 minutes on the other side. So an hour and a half talking about everything that you do and how great you are. I enjoy, and then you take time out to help when you are home, help friends get bows too, so that's the cool part about it. So, set up friends with bows. So
Well, and
that's
and
awesome.
and another thing, like if anybody's got any questions on anything, just give me a shout. And message me or DM me or
Yeah.
shoot me a text if you have my number. And
So, yeah,
I'm
tell
here to
everybody
help
where to
you.
find you at.
You can find me at Curtis_Broadnax on Instagram. You can find me Curtis Broadnax Professional Archer on Facebook or Curtis Broadnax on Facebook. There's two different pages. One's archery page, one's not. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Well, yeah, as everybody knows, you can find us anywhere and everywhere. We just talked about that. But I tell you, Curtis, good luck to the rest of the season. We hope to get
I'll
every.
sell his phone number for $5.
Oh my gosh! Look, I hope you donating his money to this China trip. Okay, everybody give him $5 so we can send it all. We're gonna give it all to Curtis for his China trip. But yeah, so dude, this has been awesome, been great. I appreciate you very much. Take someone, teach them how to shoot a bow. It will last them a lifetime. Until next time, I'm Big John. That's Big Time. We'll see
Whoop
you.
whoop.